Alright guys, I'm back and now I'm going to show you the lattice method of multiplication. The kids, whenever I showed them this the first time, you would have thought I just showed them a magic trick. They were just so fascinated that it worked. We discussed that the person that came up with this method, like, wow, how creative they were to be able to do this. It involves kind of a little art in it, which a lot of our students really like art. So they were like, hey, I get to draw something. I'm not just doing math. That's true. It is a very neat method. It does require actually building a lattice, which is what I'm going to show you. It is similar to the area model in that we are going to start off drawing a box. We are going to split it into 4x2. So I'm going to do that part of it first, and then I'm going to show you what the differences are. Alright, so I have 4 digits by 2, and now I'm about to put in my numbers. Now, in the area model, I put numbers here and here. With lattice, we're going to put numbers on the top, and we're going to do it on this side. And the reason why, and I always tell them if they're working on paper, we're trying to get the lattice to go towards the, where the hole punches are in the paper. And so we need to be opposite of that so the arrows can point this way. But honestly, until you see it, it's a little confusing. So I want you to just watch me at first and then I'll explain. Whenever I write in the digits, I am simply going to write digits. I am not going to break this into an expanded form. I am not going to say 4,000 and then write 230 and 2. I am just going to write 4, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so 4. Something on my board here. 2, 3, 2. Okay. Then I'm going to go and I have 47. I'm going to write a 4 and a 7. So again, I am only using the digits and I am using the right hand side instead of the left. Okay. Now that I have set up my problem, I need to actually build my lattice. And the lattice simply goes corner to corner in a box. Now, if you have a nice even box, you can just draw them all the way like this. Most of the time, I don't get it nice and even. The students definitely don't. Again, this is where graph paper could be very useful. And they do have access to that at school and also for their benchmarks and their EOG test. So graph paper could be your best friend. A lot of times they think it's just for graphing. I say if it helps us line up the numbers and see it, let's use that. Okay, so in a lattice, you would build corner to corner, again, like you were facing the hole punches if this was a line sheet of notebook paper. They could end it right here, or they could extend it out just a little bit to make a little space if they don't naturally see that. If spatial awareness is an issue, if you've noticed that your child struggles when placing numbers on a page or letters on a page, they may need this line extended. So I'm going to show it like that, but it can be just to the end. Again, building my lattice, and this will look like literally like lattice you can pick up at Lowe's, which is how it got its name. So again, I'm going to extend out just so that you can easily see these spaces here, because actually our final answer is going to end up right there. Okay? In lattice, we do not have to deal with a whole bunch of zeros or anything like that, which can make it a little simpler for the students. I still say go ahead and skip count out on the side. Do the work once, not have to do it over and over and over again. I don't require this, but if I ask a student what 7 times 6 is and they can't immediately tell me, or they have to sit there and do repeated addition every time, we're going to go ahead and do that work once. I just can't say that enough. They get tired enough showing their work. They don't need to keep doing multiple steps whenever they could just do the work one time. So now we are going to do this just like it's a multiplication table. 2 times 4. And when I go 2 times 4 and I get 8, I'm going to understand that the bottom triangle is my ones place and the top is my tens. So in the number 8, I have 8 ones, but I have 0 tens. I would need to put that 0 in because otherwise it'll look like we didn't complete it at the end, and that could be confusing for the students. Okay, so you could work it any box you want at a time. I normally work across and then work down, or I work it like this. That does not matter. Whatever works for them. They can go and solve all the ones that they know right off and then go find the difficult ones and work them. That's up to them as long as they go through and solve. So 2 times 7 is 14, which is like this, the 1 here and the 4 here, because this is tens place and this is the ones. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 times 7 is 14. 4 times 7 is 28. We already did this one. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4, again, we have that 8, so we have to add a 0. 4 times 4 is 16. Now, here's where the magic happens to the students. Then they're just like, wow, we can't believe this works. We are going to start, see how it's all pointing this way? We're going to start in this corner, and we're going to work around. Okay? So now we are simply going to add, and we are only going to add whatever is within each diagonal. Okay? So in this first diagonal space, we only have a 4. So we're going to put a 4 here. Now I have all of these numbers that are within the diagonal. I don't include these anymore. We have already worked those numbers. They are no longer part of our problem. We are only working the ones within our lattice. So I start at the bottom, and you'll see why later. Okay? 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. So just like before, I'm going to put the 0 here, and I'm going to carry my 1 right there. I'm just going to put a little note of it right here in this corner. Now, the reason why I put it in this corner is I don't want to put it here and have them think this is 14. If I put it here, for the most part, they don't think this is 41 because it's tiny and they don't get themselves confused. We know that we're just adding that 1, and it comes with practice. So 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 0 is 9. I have nothing to carry because my answer was 9. Start back here again. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 8 is 17, plus 1 is 18. 8 goes here, 1 goes right there. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. I have a 0 here, I put a 9. And then as you see, there's only one digit here, it's going to be a 1. Now watch, once they are done, so they have solved going this way, they're going to write their answer going this way. I'm going to start here, 1, 9, 8, 1, 9, 8, 904, 904. If you notice, this is the same answer that we got using the area model and standard algorithm. And when you get done with it and you place it there, the kids are just like, I can't believe it actually came out correctly. This is the reason why they think it's a bit of a magic trick. You can get them to practice this just by playing that up a little bit. Maybe even saying, I heard that you had a way that almost looked like magic. Can you show me? Making it fun for them because they really do need to practice this more if they like this method. Now again, if your child can successfully do standard algorithm, as we all know, that is going to be the fastest way for them to do it than building boxes and lattices. But a lot of these numbers, these are very abstract concepts, and if they are not ready for that yet, they are going to feel frustrated. And that is the worst thing that can happen. We don't want them to give up on math. That is what has happened to a lot of people. If you all know, if you ask and you say you love math, you probably know 10 other people that don't. And it's typically because they were taught one method and that's it. So we're opening that up for them so they can try methods that work for their brain. So this is called the Lattice Method. and it is the third strategy that we have shown them. So these are the three main ones: standard algorithm, area model, and lattice method for working with multi-digit multiplication numbers. And like I said, this can work for any amount of digits. If there was 3 digits here, you would just have 3 boxes and you would build. It can change for whatever problem. You could do it with just 1 digit. You would just have this row would be gone. Just a lot of different things that they can do with this. Again, stress to them, obviously, if we can learn those multiplication tables and we do that in practice, that is going to make their life easier. If they can learn it in a song or just learn to skip count it through memorization, that's great. But also repeated addition, doing the work once, this helps. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.